So you know how we do at the INO podcast already. We love to have great conversations with great drinks. And with that being said, I'm happy to say that we are sponsored by Campari. So let me tell you a bit about Campari now. The unique, intense nature of Campari's vibrant red color and multi-layered bitter taste is the trademark of a connoisseur, stimulating the senses through a captivating visual and taste experience. I want you, if you have not tried this already, to try this. We love Campari, have it at your next line. Campari, respect the bitter. This is the INO podcast where we all about healthy debate, honest conversation, and talking beer junk. Information, knowledge, observation. This is the INO podcast. INO, information, knowledge, observation. Also, I know nothing. We got Mose on the inside.
Hey.
We got Kofi on the inside.
Yo.
We got Romar on the outside. We have Novaline, head of communications at the Central Bank of Barbados on the outside. Big get yourself, Novaline.
Gee.
We also have Kurt Lee, who looks like a very dangerous man, by the way. And not like be in an arm wrestle dangerous. Like he should fight in the Ukraine dangerous. Like that's what you know what I mean? Yeah, boy. So best behavior today. And we have a very special guest with us. What can we say? Honestly, in recent history, he's responsible for some of the biggest economic decisions made for Barbados, and we all are impacted by them. And also, because of his new position, he is now all over the press, and we keep seeing certain words come up. One of them being, he comes from a humble beginning. And we on the INO podcast for the last 5 years have had people from many humble beginnings who have imparted wisdom, knowledge, and were vulnerable enough to show their experiences on camera and share with us. And this will be another one of those episodes. Without further ado, thank you, Campari, for making me mess that up. Without further ado, I must say a big congratulations to the newest Governor of the Central Bank of Barbados, Dr. Kevin Greenidge.
Hey.
Thank you, Marcus.
What are you saying, man?
With that introduction, I'm not even sure where to go from there. You almost set me up, though. But thank you very much, and pleasure to be here with you guys. I know we're only a few years apart from each other, so...
Oh, yeah.
Just a few.
Yeah, you can tell by the hair, right? Oh, man, Dr. Greenidge. So we always see you in the paper talking about certain things about, the country from a macroeconomic perspective, etc., and your expertise. But we really appreciate also knowing the person behind the title and the position. So when we saw humble beginnings, and when I heard certain things, for example, like growing up in a children's home, and also that you said that you see yourself sometimes as the poor black boy from Black Rock sometimes, it really made me say, like, we can really start from there. So I guess we can start from, your childhood and move forward, how that would have impacted you today on your journey.
Oh, wow. So, first of all, not only your childhood, but your entire past creates who you are. You don't define where you go, but it creates who you are. And whether you came from very humble backgrounds or you were privileged, you still have to embrace it, because that's what defines who you are. Me personally, I'm was the oldest of 6 from my mom side, 6 of us. We basically grew up that Rock area. 2 sisters, 3 brothers, and that makes me. My mom was a single parent, so that kind of set a tone. You focus on just surviving day to day, enjoy, life. You mentioned me being in a children's home. Yeah, we had an unfortunate event when I was probably 7. So which eventually led to me and 3 of us being in a Nightingale children's home for a period of time, couple of years.
Really? Nightingale, okay.
Yeah. I still go back there. Actually, I have to go again. I try to go there and talk to young people and things if I can give back. But yeah.
You remember by chance the auntie that took care of you?
No, my man, I went late 22 and 20.
Sorry, there's a reason why I had to ask.
I went late 22.
My he walking it back now. Close to me.
You see, the guys got listen to this. I told you it was just a few years ahead of you. You didn't define few.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, no, I remember, but there were a number of people there. And I went there the other day with the Prime Minister, and the place has transformed even beyond anything I could recognize. So it's a totally different place. I mean, back then, I think even nowadays, more emphasis and effort and attention and resources are given to less fortunate kids than back in my day.
Right. Would you speak more to what it was like in the children's home at that time? This would have been like the 1990s. See how we did that?
Can we get her for you?
but at that point in time, what was it like? Do you have vivid memories of that?
Yeah, just taking care of my brothers and sisters and being oldest, making sure we can survive. It wasn't no better rules. It's far fresh what I see nowadays. But right, I mean, even part of my secondary school, we were there, so it was okay. It wasn't. I guess fine. I mean, what can be.
Yeah,
but
I guess when some people hear children's home, they have an idea of it being like, almost like unmanageable. Where you're just
no, nothing like that. No. In fact, if you go to children's home nowadays, it's really a home. They've tried to create an environment where the kids can flourish and develop. And that has increased. Mine was a little, not quite at that level, but at that point in time, they did the best they could have done.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
I've nothing negative to say about that experience.
Okay.
I mean, so it was what it is.
So in your childhood, what was your mindset like in terms of, because I mean, achieving what you've achieved, how were you thinking about this? Did you know that this is what you wanted to do at that age?
No. At that age, it was day-to-day living, surviving.
Right.
I think after we even came home, we were living in Black Rock, and you run with your boys and deacons, cross the path, you play football, you fight, you do. I mean, it was just typical fella. Climb a tree, hurt your foot.
During that period, though, you ever felt like you stood out amongst the rest of the guys?
Yeah, to the extent that I guess looking back, I always had a kind of a strong mind. So I wasn't necessarily caught up in the hype of doing what all the other fellas did.
Right. And that was a challenging area then too.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot.
Right.
Including death.
Right.
But I was fortunate. A lot of good people came into my life, and different along the path, different places. God would have brought persons in my life who would have contributed to me at that time, like Peter Farnham. He was a teacher at Allen School who took an interest in me. And so because of him, I was able to go to Inter-School Christian Fellowship camp every year for the entire year. I was at Allen School. I loved that. We go down River Bear, spend a week and just camping out and doing all kinds of things. It was fun. Right. And that would have also, and then my mom tried to make sure we would go to church. So get some gospel in your soul.
Right.
And Peter always took us to take me to Inter-School, to Pius Cathedral. Another friend, guy called Christopher Miller, would come by everything. So God put people in my life to help. But they would say little things like it takes a living fish to swim upstream. One day fish could go on with the crowd. So those things kind of stuck with me through the years.
I always find that interesting when, you would see one person that, say, come from the same environment, influenced by peers the same way, that kind of way, but doesn't necessarily go down a certain path that, other persons would have went down. So I just found that very interesting that you would have still, when you say strong mind, I can't understand what you say.
Strong mind, but strong mind. Even though we were single parent, my mother would beat the shit out of me. So.
Oh, but that.
It's good.
What's you good?
If you are actually worried, not me. The coming feel from brass tacks. Beat you, living stuff until if you go. So kind of like.
That's the radio edit. We don't like the radio edit.
Yeah, that's kind of.
But what I did want to ask though. Actually, we get to what you were going to say just now, right? But I do remember in an article you said that one thing that you wish that was in schools was confidence building. And it took a while for you to build your confidence?
I don't remember if I said that, but I know, sorry, not saying that. Maybe I did. I said a lot of things, depending on the moment I did.
Right.
But So I went to Allen school, and I think I'm not through my school. I was, for a second, third, fourth, even fifth form, just doing enough to get in next form. And then in fifth form, I didn't get entry for any subjects because I really didn't do any. People remember me being a genius. Maybe I was, but I was a lazy genius. And then met my friend John Shepard and Andrew Forey. I tell this story right time. Andrew came from England, was our friend. We used to hang together. And then Andrew, they so good that year. Me and John did nothing. So we sitting in the auditorium. Right. And I look at John, and John look at me, and look and see Andrew getting impressed. But it's kind of Boudreaux. Boudreaux's idiot just said, hey, if he could do that, we could do that. It's man smarter than he is. So then we went and asked the head teacher if we could do another year. And they allow us to do it. And that year was the defining moment. So we look at each other, I said, and we decide at that moment, when we finish school, Allen school, there's nothing else for us except hard labor. And my skin too delicate for that thing. So, so we asked for another year. And that year, we worked together and became the best in the school. I got maybe 8 ones or something like that. And he's 7 on
Just like that?
Just by...
Whoa.
And I went off to Harrison College. Now, the thing is that what I'm trying to say is, what I would let you point out is that I was the same person all along. It's just that at a point in time, I decided that I will do something.
Right.
And I believe all of us have that in us.
Okay.
All of us, every young person have that. Some of us arrive at it later than others. Some arrive at it earlier because of environment. But at some point in time, for me, that was it. After tasting that victory and becoming the best, I believe they haven't changed those records, haven't been eclipsed as yet. Well, but
so there's a platform with your name on it.
There are many platforms.
Yeah.
So, because everyone at Harrison College, they go there, then they went to university. But everywhere along the way, you strengthen your confidence when you see a little victory. And that's how sometimes you have to remember life, Small victory, claim that, it strengthens you. So now looking back, I can see how it strengthened me as I go. So, University of West Indies first degree. That point in time, I was studying. I wasn't doing economics at first. I did management first year. Then I realized, hey, the management had an economic component. So I realized that economic component was pretty easy. This thing I had a liking for it. So by my second year, I realized this thing is pretty good. I was doing part-time. So then I decide, again, the decision is always yours. I always say, let me pause on that. People say you come from, everything is so unequally distributed. Some poor, some rich, some black, some white, some all kind of things. Disadvantage, advantage. But I've come to realize that God is a fair God. He is shared one thing with all of us equally, in the equal amount of measure. It doesn't matter where society you are, and that is your ability to dream. You could be in prison and dream. You could be in the poorest place and dream. And I can tell you, as long as you can dream, you can achieve it. You can. If you could have a vision in your mind, you will achieve it. So I in school when I was doing it, but knowing it, I see myself. I said, after this, I go to Harrison College. Now, when I say that, I haven't done anything yet. I was so far behind on anything for any courses. Not even SBAs. So I had to do SB and everything. But I said I was going to Harrison College, and that was any story. That was my vision. Without knowing it, I was visualizing and creating my future.
Right.
And unless something wrong mentally with you, born with a slight disadvantage mentally, everybody can dream. If you can dream, you can achieve it.
And how do you marry the dream with the execution?
Here's the thing. You gotta believe in God. You gotta believe in something higher than you. If you believe in God, maybe believe in the universe, but something higher. This is how it works. And it's biblical. I don't want to get too big.
No, talk, Pastor.
I can do church,
But let's
preach.
Let's do it.
When it's Sunday.
Let's go, Pastor.
Don't force me to tell you, but Mark chapter, I think chapter 11, verse 4, or 4:11, one to them, I don't want me to. It said, whatsoever you desire. So that's the dream, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatsoever you desire. That's the dream.
Mm-hmm.
When you pray, that's the meditation.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to go to church and pray. You just got to meditate on it. In other words, you got this image in your mind. You want to have a studio 5 times this size.
Right.
Then but then you dream it. That's your image. You have that.
Right.
So you have the dream. Now you have you keep it in your prayer and meditating.
Mm-hmm.
That's clause number 1. Clause number 2. Clause number 3 says, believe you have it. That's the past tense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Believe. Not that you will have it. You believe you have it. And the last clause says, and you shall receive it.
Mm-hmm.
They never tell you, try to figure out where you go to the bank and borrow some money, try to save and get some money. In other words, I play chess. That's it, calling having the vision.
Mm-hmm.
The rest will play. You got to leave room for God to do something,
So you start big. You start big picture first, and then
have the dream. No, don't work out. Don't work out your details.
Mm-hmm.
Just hold the dream in front of you. That's why you want to be, and you'll be surprised that God will do the rest. People come into your life for the opportunity. You might somebody offer you a building, and things will happen. Sometimes we try to take the power from God and say, "Let me figure out how to do this." Yes. But there are many ways that you haven't even think about. You haven't thought about that God, the universe, what we want to call it, can deliver your dream to you. You just got a dream.
Right.
Go sleep with this on your mind. Live it, breathe it, imagine it, see yourself doing it. I give you a joke, man. I get a story, not a joke, story. The person asked me all the time, when you're a governor, how does it feel? Are you excited? I can go back to the university thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you excited? I said, I find it hard to tell. No, I'm not. I am as I was before I became governor. So, are you excited? You're not excited? Wow. They can't fathom that. But here's why not. When I was at university, my first year, I went to a church, in the school Christian fellowship. There's university, no Christian fellowship. We had to have a visiting church, me and my partners. And this pastor was talking. He said, somebody here studied economics. I said, I ain't know for what God. I ain't really big in this thing. He was a visiting pastor too. Eventually, my friend said, Kev, you talking to you, So I went up and said, I got a message for you from God. You'll become a leader in this country as it relates to economic issues and teach people what the principle in master C. We could go back to that again later. Mm-hmm. So from then, they plant a seed in my mind that I can actually become an economic teacher or a leader.
And this is what age?
This is at university. So my first degree. This is after Arson College.
Yeah.
And I've kept that vision in my mind of me. And then eventually, like I was telling you, when I was at university, in my first year, I went to the Central Bank because then you figure out with the university, with the degree in economics, where can you start?
Mm-hmm.
Where people tell me best is the Central Bank. So I went to the Central Bank and I actually directed who's dealing with this issue is the director of economics research. A guy called Danny Boama. I said, Danny, I want to take the kind of university to come here. He said, well, you got to be the best at university and get first class, and then we will take the best. Usually we do. So I tell him, well, hold it. I came back in 3 years. Hold a spot for me. So now I have a vision. Mm-hmm. I go back to university, and that's why I want. So because that prophecy I had, it created a seed, created a vision. So I knew I need to go to university. How do I do? I need at least 12, 13 years. And I get in 20 or 21. Because I didn't want any room for error. I used to stick up my courses and my grades before in my house, even before I beginning of the year, and invariably that way we get. Looking back at what I was doing is like what I'm telling you. Right? So the person asked me, go back to your point, why are you not excited? It's not that I'm excited, it's that I have lived it before. Remember, whatsoever you convince your body it will happen. You convince yourself the emotions of it. So I've seen it. So you remember, whatsoever you desire, so you have to have a desire. Now, about a vision in people press, you have to have a desire. As a young person, you have to have a dream. If you don't have a dream, find a dream. When you pray, what that tells you, and not necessarily hallelujah, no, it means meditating on it consistently, put it in the middle of your mind. Because I don't want to, I'm saying it's a Christian thing. It could be Buddha, Hindu, whatever. You could be it could be atheist. Just have a vision.
and meditate on it. Believe that you've received it. Not always believe it. My brother, what is believing? When you believe something, you get emotions attached to it. You live in that. If you believe you can fly, you will jump off a building. Reality might hit home.
Right.
Morning's
But if you believe it, then you create you live in it. Right? So when it happens, how are you going to feel? Any different? You've already lived it.
Yeah.
And so that's the idea, holding. If somehow is put hypnosis on you and tell you, and you make you believe you have $1 million, you will behave a certain way, you will spend, you will give away, you act a certain way. And if I wake you up and you saw $1 million, what will be the difference? You already believe this thing, so
you already live it.
You live it. So that's the process of getting. And so instead of you work, it didn't say whatsoever desire. When you pray, meditating, try to figure out the path. That wasn't there, right? Tell God where to go. Stress and the 5-point plan and how to approach this thing. It never says nothing like that. Oh, it says belief that you have it.
So if from that early age that you felt this strong faith, there's never a time that you really were worried or that you didn't have not enough faith in order to get to the next place you wanted to go. You always were confident that you were going to get there.
No, you can doubt. It's a part. It's like you look like a fire is going to gym all the time.
Oh yeah, I love you, Jim.
Right. Think about it this way. If you see when you see one, so you have dreams along the way. First dream for me then was to get Harrison College, right?
Right.
So I could do some A levels. Bam. So that's strength for me. That's like you're doing some biceps and triceps. All of a sudden your body getting, damn, this thing's looking good. You encourage more because that builds you.
Small victories.
Yes,
you see the results,
exactly.
Yeah.
And that builds you. And then when I get Harrison College, and I get that, I went to university, and my goal is to go to Central Bank, and every semester I put out my grades, and I say, macroeconomics, micro, and then I see that happening. That strengthens me. Every semester I'm getting stronger. I think I walk on water because that strengthens me. And so it's that it's funny. And of course, you got your doubts, coming true, but you're building I don't talk about biblical faith. I just talk about your ability to believe. You're building it.
It's manifesting.
So sometimes that's the word. I didn't want to get so complicated. You've been doing some reading.
His father's actually a pastor as well.
Right. So you meditate. Praying is manifesting.
Yeah, totally.
Manifesting is praying. And eventually you start to believe, and that builds your confidence. One victory at a time. One step. But whatever it is, it could be any goal, but you have to dream. That's why he said, God is fear God. He gave all us the ability to dream. It was like, I'm back at night, and what do I really want? Okay, this year, I want to be debt free. Just hold that dream. See yourself lending people money. Just hold the dream. What do you want this year? Well, I want to open my own business. What are you into? Outside of this.
Oh, well, many things. But I have this. I have also my 9 to 5. I work at the Accreditation Council. Or also you may want to, for example, I just say this is your business, a nice business. Yeah. But I'm sure if you might expand into a bigger studio, for example, and you listen, and you have to become specific. Sit down, get a piece of paper and draw what the building will look like.
Right.
You have a vision board?
My vision board is in my head.
Oh, okay.
I'm visual. But when I was I live in the States. I live in I was working at IMF for a couple of years, and I wanted to buy my first house. And I literally sat down and we drew out what we wanted to look like in terms of the particulars. And that is exactly what I want to know.
We pause this episode of the INO podcast to tell you a little bit about Campari. Campari is one of those drinks that I just love to play around with. Right now, we're drinking Campari with a little bit of soda water and just a splash of orange juice. I ain't gonna lie, right? It can end up tasting just like grapefruit. And you don't know nothing in really Bajan like a grapefruit. Campari, INO podcast, we're coming right back to you. Campari, respect the bitter.
I would like to ask you about that working with the IMF. But this is more a broader question just about you. Because of what you do, you have been in many rooms with people who aren't a very understanding of the Barbadian culture and don't know much about, like, actually know coming where you came from, right? Is there ever a time when you were in those rooms with those people where you felt as though you didn't belong?
No. I mean, okay, I understand what you're saying, but let me qualify it. By the time I reached here, I have so much confidence in myself that I have over 200 published articles in journals, and I knew who I was very strongly, so there wasn't any issue of that. I had other issues, but confidence was not one of them. And so I knew where I belonged. But that question you asked about sometimes wondering if you belong to a space happened to me when I went to Cambridge. So I left university being the best at that time. And I went off to Cambridge, right? And now I'm standing in a class with guys who don't really take notes because they're certified geniuses. Like, they're so smart, it's crazy. Like, I'm struggling going through a thick book called Masculine Skill or something. A thick book. I used to ride a bicycle. I always keep it in my backpack. Not because I want to learn from, just in case anybody attack me. You get a good lashes. You get a good lashes.
That's almost like a baton.
You ain't coming back for that. Right? And this book was so complicated. I was just struggling through the questions and got guys correcting the teacher about, I said, damn, man.
Yeah.
So at one time, I really started to wonder, do I belong? Can I not necessarily can I even survive with these guys? Like, these young fellas who skip half the school and certified, And at one point in time, it became so tough that I went to the Students Guild and administrated. I did an IQ test. And that came back very favorable.
Okay.
So then I said, okay. Just
that's a confidence move.
Yeah. That's a small win.
Small bit.
I'm supposed to be here.
Let me crush your numbers. I'm an economist. Let me crush your numbers.
I'm serious. I literally went and did this test, and a proper certified test to check my IQ, and it came back that I was definitely supposed to be here.
Right.
So I went back and then my chest up.
Okay.
And then started work from putting some lips in me, but at least I was able to put my head down and keep saying, okay, you belong to here. You belong to here. You belong to here.
Do you believe, though, that if you are in the room, then you're in the right room? You have the ability to be in that room?
If my philosophy in life is that I am always where I'm supposed to be.
Right.
Because I believe in God. And everything is happening to me now because it is supposed to be happening to me now.
Right. Whether
it be a trial, a tough time, my philosophy is this too shall pass. Tomorrow the sun will rise and I will rise with it. So wherever I am, whatever I'm doing, I'm supposed to be doing that.
Right.
Once you tell your mind so, then you just and sometimes things happen to you, particularly young, because God is trying to put you to another level. So you got to become uncomfortable where you are first, so you don't settle. When you find yourself going through tribulations, like I mentioned, we were talking before, I was married for 20 years, right? And then I was going through a divorce, which is never pleasant, even though we didn't do it. It was quite
amicable
between us. It was strict, but it still would be tough, right? And I was saying to myself, what got me through it is like I was almost looking forward to something exciting happening afterwards. I know when you get this all rumbling, and when you might lose your job, but instead of saying, "Oh my God, I lose my job," you should be like, "Oh my gosh, something exciting must be coming down the pipeline for me."
Right.
That's how you have to look at it. Something exciting. God will not allow me to lose my job unless there's something. I needed to get uncomfortable in my space in order for me to receive the next blessing, right? And so that's usually my approach. So through that, the divorce process, where things are a little rough and things, it allowed me to keep a proper attitude and a proper perspective on life because something's happening. It's almost like you're looking forward. For lack of a better term, you're pregnant with some excitement.
Right. So was that thing defined for you, or this was just you just know there was something, but it didn't. It wasn't any.
You never know what it is. You don't try to create it in your mind. Don't tell God what it is. You just know something's happening.
Coming. That's very admirable
better is
faith.
coming from. I mean, it is true. You realize. Think about your life and these things you've been. You realize that every time you had adversity, look back and see that after that, you were in a better position.
Right.
Almost invariably, you come up better.
You ain't lying.
It's true. So you almost look forward to when things get a little rough because you know God is shaking up things. It's time for me to. God. I keep saying God, but if you believe in whatever, Allah, Buddha, whatever, Yusha, Nathan, universe.
The last one from me off, but yeah.
Universe. You gotta believe in something.
Something,
You don't believe in God, that's
something bigger than
Yeah.
There's a shake-up happening.
Right. I find one thing that you took with you from your humble background is you're very rich, robust, some people say rank, Bajan accent.
Mm.
And I think that it's very interesting that you've taken that with you because many academics feel as though they have to almost shed that because it does not necessarily go with the quintessential academic way of speaking.
Right.
I want to know, as you have done your journey, taking that accent with you, what that was like.
First of all, Barbados is a small country, 160 square miles, but I love my country. I love my Bajan accent, I love my Bajan culture, my roots. It is second to none. So it's absolutely no reason, even I even try to speak any different. What I focus on is communication.
Right.
I will slow down because I want you to understand me. But whether you come from England, speaking the Queen's English, or from somewhere else, I ain't changing my accent. Why don't you change yours?
Right, yeah, exactly.
I am Bajan. Bajan to the bone. I love who I am. Plus, my tongue is heavy. I do a lot of work, so
Right.
I get you a lot of high work.
You learn to talk once.
I learn to talk once.
Yeah.
What would I do? I'm going to slow down so you can understand me. But my brother, this is how I speak.
Right.
And it may, some people
And you
may,
don't change it for nothing.
I
Right.
don't need to.
Okay.
Because I am complete.
Nation language.
Speaking the Queen's and high terms don't make me more intelligent or
Right.
less intelligent.
Right.
I am complete.
Right.
I am good with how I'm speaking. Now I recognize my you announce words maybe a little heavy and sometimes you need to be a little clearer.
Right.
But when people pick at that, I say, okay, fine. You know it was somebody else.
Right.
So we good, right? That's okay. Maybe I don't. But my thing is, one, my tongue is heavy. I can do a bit more training in terms of enunciating my words a little better. My rendition or whatever you want to call it. By any of the day, you're going to understand me and we're good to go.
Right.
Now, if that make me sound less intelligent, well, let's talk materials. We talk economics. Let's talk economics. We will see if you think I cannot
Because the
keep up.
substance now, right?
Yeah,
Substance
let me see
conversation
what
for
we
sure.
do here. Yeah, exactly.
Have you ever heard any pushback from your peers about that though at all?
My peers, like, I don't have peers. No, just kidding.
No, you're not. That's the funny part. No, you're not, and you know that. I want you standing there. I love it.
Man, say
I
no
love
one
it.
is on my level.
No, not arrogantly. I am who I am. I am me.
You know what I mean? That's what it is.
I am
You
me.
and that.
I am me.
Understand?
No, but more importantly, people are, listen, people are, I hear this joke about this farmer, positive farmer, negative farmer, you know. And the negative farmer always finds something wrong. So then the rainfall, the positive farmer said, good, the crops gonna look good. The negative farmer say that, nah, man, cheese on,
They get rot.
When the rain start falling, the sun come out, the positive farmer say, no, sunshine.
Right.
When the rain say, oh, God, and try the crops in.
Wait.
Two of them went fishing one day, and the positive farmer just got a new dog, right? He said, man, watch this. So he take the fishing straight out. The dog jump out the boat, ramp on top of the water,
Run on it.
catch the fish, ramp back on top of the water, drop it, go hopping. Negative farmer said, I knew it, dog can't even swim.
Wow.
So there will always be people.
Yeah.
Not that you cannot improve. You have to always search yourself and see how you can improve and do things to improve.
Right.
But my friend, you cannot focus on what people say about you and make that define you. People will always find something to say. They're going to say, you don't speak right. Yeah, you don't smell right. You don't look right.
Right.
People always find something. You can't let that define you. First, you define yourself. And out of the things that people give you, you choose what you believe, what you think is good, and you use that to improve yourself. But if you meet 4 people in your life, one's going to love you and like you for whatever you are, no matter what you do. One's going to hate you if you pull the moon and walk on water. And the other 2 don't really give a damn one way or the other.
Mhm.
So my
Amazing
friend,
eyes too.
25, 50% of people you meet don't really care nothing.
Yeah.
One way or the other.
Mhm.
25%
Right.
can love you to bits, no matter what you're doing. 25%
Yeah.
can hate you.
Yeah.
You got to do you.
Mhm.
Just wake up and decide, who are you?
But the reason why you mentioned that and I guess we could just put a knot in that. I just wanted to say, how many people feel as though they have to shed that, and the fact that you are at the level that you're at and you still kept that with you is very, very admirable. And I would like for people to take that away from you. And it also makes you very relatable as well.
Correct.
Because even though you have a heavy tongue and, you know, words, you don't feel like saying all these syllables in your words. Right. Exactly. Let me get the point. Get the point before stop right there. Let me move on with it. You know, people relate to that, and I like that. And there's more of a chance that you would spread the messages that you have in economics and stuff more than somebody that trying to be all highfalutin, all in paper, saying all kind of things, using big words like Farrago.
I don't know who that is.
But I don't know who the person is either. I'm just saying that Farrago is a word that we never really use. So I'm saying, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but also
Exactly.
I agree with you. But there's something else I want that we just touched on that I want to elaborate on a bit. And this is because I'm speaking to young folks like myself. We're young people
Yeah.
together, right? Yes.
All of us,
Yeah,
surely.
Yeah.
exactly.
I like how you swing it back and forth.
You have to define you. You have to know who you are.
Mhm.
If not, the world will tell you who you are. And then people quick to tell you who you are. Even my stage now, I always have to define who I am every day and reaffirm myself. So my morning routine will go like, I will wake up in the morning before I go to bed, before I reach for that phone, because as soon as you reach your phone, it's all over.
That's a fact.
Emails coming in, WhatsApp messages coming
It's a
in,
wormhole.
texts coming in,
It's a
That's a
wormhole.
fact.
It's a
Facebook
wormhole.
text.
Notifications don't
that's
stop.
right.
Yeah,
And if you
yeah.
do not believe it, that is already telling you who you are. Somebody say, I have a bad night, or you believe this and that. That's defining you. Before I touch that, before I get my bed, lie in my bed, I close my eyes and I meditate. Prayer, whatever you want to call it. And I start to see my day. First, I start to tell myself who I am. I'm blessed. I'm strong and healthy. I'm whole. Everything I touch will prosper. It's scripture verses or whatever. And as I do that, my mind wanders, start to see me, defining who I'm full of energy. And then I start to create my day. I know I have a set of meetings. I start to see some of them and how they will go. Before I came to you guys here, I saw the end of this interview in my mind, how it will go. And I say, I'm going to be blessed. People want to like what I have to say. I just want to come across positive. I want to leave something for people to hold on to. Right? So I have never done a meeting. In recent years, let's say the last 25 years, 20 years, I've never done a meeting, a public lecture, and I have hundreds of meetings. Interview, book first, praying, how I just described, defining who I am, setting the tone. If you don't, then you go in the meeting not ready. So, and also claiming my favor. The Bible says, I'm blessed and highly favored.
Yeah.
You gotta claim your favor. It's there already, you just gotta claim it. So I say things like, I am highly favored. People that listen to this YouTube video will not be able to start listening. I am full of favor. And so you wake up, you spend 15 minutes just getting into you. Who are you? Defining how your day will go. If every thoughts come, resist the temptation to move. Spend your 15 minutes doing that. Then I would guilt my bed, no, I ain't going for that phone yet, That's going to start in the car afterwards. I go and I do my, grooming, brush your teeth and bald head, fix your hair, all shave on it. And I
Cream,
have,
man.
yeah,
Cream Angelo.
no, you're going to fix it. But then I have my phone and I play some stuff that I create over a while, that positive affirmation over and over, I say these things. And I define you. So you know who you are before you leave your house to tackle the world. You're almost like you fill up on your energy. You do your gym thing, that's part of the process.
Right.
The gym is building your body, building your resistance, building your physical structure. But in this now, we're building our mental structure, our spiritual structure.
A mental workout.
Mental workout, yes. Solidify and building it, and you get better. You leave your office now, somebody cut you off in traffic. You're cool. You're not.
They give you a finger, all kind of things, and you just like,
Yeah.
blessings, my brother.
All right.
Have a good day.
Hey, I'm blessed.
You go.
That's exactly what it is.
And blessings to you too.
And blessings to you too.
And then you go work and somebody's stressed out, they had a rough day, they come in, you're not even letting anyone steal your energy and your joy. You're just like calm. And things are happening. But you cool, you're just going through your pleasant personality. And then what's happening? People want to be around you because you're infectious now. You kind of like have a positive attitude and you define your day. The day hasn't defined you. Things will go off wrong, may go right, but you have control. You've seen it. And if there are specific things you want to do, like I say, beginning of the morning, I put out there how I want to go. By the time I get home, I might be physically tired, but I'm not drained.
Right.
That's a good
I'm
distinction.
not drained. So mentally okay to relax because if you have kids, you have a girlfriend, you have time for them because you're not drained. Because remember, you have certain amount of energy there, and every time you get angry or frustrated, you just give it out. You're giving it away. And there are people
and
who
it's harder to recover from that.
No, you can't because unless you have a way of sitting down meditating and drawing it back in from the universe, you have a finite. It's physics. You have a finite more energy you wake up with.
Facts.
Right? And then by the time you get home, you have time for your family, time for yourself to relax. You may be tired physically, but you're not mentally exhausted. And then next morning you start over again. But too many of us, we wake up and you first thing you reach for that phone. But then you reach that, it's all over. The day defines you don't define the day.
I think in my mind, I am interpreting that as when you're saying these things, I'm thinking that is attention that is the currency in terms of as soon as you pick up your phone, the attention that you should have put on yourself, you're now giving to everybody else.
Absolutely.
And it's taken away from you.
Absolutely.
If you don't start with that,
bro.
then immediately it's an issue.
And not only is it attention given away, some people they have other issues and things that will start to define your day for you. By the time you listen to a few people, the problems they had, the dog ran away, cat get run over,
And it becomes your problem.
Somebody harm somebody, and somebody
Exactly.
kills somebody. All of a sudden, you got problems.
Right. I get you.
Another me or yours.
And
then your problems.
But
Exactly.
they're defining you.
Especially if somebody get harmed, I just want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
So that's why I like to
Not
know.
gypsing
I like to know early. Hey, yeah.
Malicious, huh?
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying you can't do that.
Right.
But I'm saying first,
Timing.
pack your bundle.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
take care of yourself.
You love a good horn story, but you gotta pay attention to yourself first.
Build yourself up. So
Right.
when you
Then
see
after
that
that,
kind of
you
story,
you could just
and you can minister to that body, for
Yeah.
example. You can tell a brother something. You could curse somebody. Because you can get angry. Tell
Right.
a fella, beat, and you cool down, you good.
right.
But you gotta first build it and build it yourself so you can give it away.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
I could work with that.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense now how you would have traversed your journey to get to that point because it's a mindset thing. It's definitely a mindset
And you
thing.
gotta take care of it. So much of us are so physical. You see the physique. You're gonna have a fantastic body, but here you're not building here. You're not building here. So you are almost allowing the physical to rule you, as opposed to mental ruling the physical.
Right.
That I thought. But basically you gotta build your mind. You see, when you go to the gym, exercise your mind.
You had an interesting question, Mose, that you were telling me about regarding work life. And I guess this is a good time to ask.
Oh, I guess typical. Thank you for letting me ask.
Oh yeah. I remember that. It was on my mind. Yeah.
Work-life balance, work and home life and recreation and so on. How do you? Because you're a very busy person. Very busy. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got amen corner.
Listen, we got so much work for you, right? She's like, yeah, that's true.
No,
that's very, very
trust
true.
me.
I have so much things for him to do.
Nobody would tell you the opposite wrong.
Yeah.
I have them running that. They say I'm on steroids.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you? No, I'm kidding.
Bro, I can't speak on camera, man.
That was a joke. That was a joke.
No, but my philosophy, I play hard and work hard. Work hard and play hard. Always, if whatever you do, be the best at it. Whatever you do, be the best at it. Better be good or it be bad. Let me explain. Don't even get me say people be bad.
Yeah, listen.
Like, if you a carpenter, be the best carpenter.
Right.
You know, your Bible say your gifts shall bring you before kings. Be the best person. You in your studio, don't so you are be the best. And to be the best, you have to put your energy into it. You have to. That's why you start your day. That put your energy into it.
make sure you're efficient in a lackadaisical behavior, and I guarantee you that will bring you 4 kings. Doesn't matter what area you're in. But at the same time, you gotta know how to let it go. So when you get home now, I can let it go.
That's
No,
okay.
no,
See that?
no,
Then
we
now?
talking-
Yeah, no, yeah, you know, we're talking real language now.
You gotta find another thing to replace it by. Right? So me, like I'm into whiskey. So I study whiskey. Great, single malt whiskey, all the Highlands in Scotland, me, my friends. And you don't have to have a lot of people, you don't have to have a million friends. Have a close, small circle. You gotta got your inner circle. My inner circle, the fellas that was always in me, even before I became well known like this.
It's back in the bourgeois days.
Even beyond, I have some friends, Sean Alley,
Black Rock days?
Rodney Murray. Yeah, someone's from Black Rock days. You got your small circle, your close friends, right? I'm saying, point you have your go-to friends, your buddies that travel, like sit down and have a drink, or sit down and do something, go surfing, but have a passion outside of work that you can just switch into. Have a passion and be good at it too.
What are your passions?
Well, I
Is
play
that
dominoes.
chess?
I
Whiskey.
drink whiskey. I play dominoes, I play chess, and I'm into whiskey at bedtime. I like traveling. I just like hanging out with my friends, my family. But the key is to be able to switch. But not switch that you don't think about stuff, but you don't carry with you. So for example, I go sleep. I can, by the time my head hit the pillow, I'm asleep. I
Especially side of the head.
I go sleep within 30 seconds.
That is insane to me.
You are a genetic.
No. It's practice. You want to hear practice?
That's a blessing.
You want to hear practice? You gotta start the brain from thinking. You know how you do
That is a genetic privilege.
Wait.
We're speaking to a superhuman.
He had us earlier.
Yeah, he had us like first half. He has the first half.
That's like a
That's
So
not
many
how
of
it
us
works.
will go bed and the thoughts they had during the day, we analyze our day, we think about problems and we laying down one thing.
Me.
I replace it with a phrase. You have to find something to replace it with.
F this.
That could work for you. And you can say it over and over.
Right.
Until you fall asleep.
Mine is, I am strong, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy.
And then gone.
No? And you repeat that. But your body, you're programming your brain. You don't allow it to think about anything else. So you keep repeating it over and over.
And your
It's
brain
all-
knows this sleepy
Between
time.
30 seconds.
No, I'm got so efficient at it.
You're going to do it. I don't
right.
know.
No, by the time I say it the first time, I'm gone. But initially, I started this like 20 years ago. So initially, it would take a little longer. You know, people say, count sheep, forget sheep, because that's not going to get you anything. By the way, this is also programming your subconscious, by the way. It's part of programming, because invariably my body believes I'm healthy, I'm strong, and wealthy.
Right.
But beyond that, is that because once I start this phrase, and eventually it takes a while, because you find if you don't focus, your mind will drift off, you're going to pull your mind back to it.
Yeah, real.
And pull it back to it. Within a couple of months, you realize that all you need to start is your phrase and you fall to sleep. It's like you're hypnotizing your mind. So I would say, I am healthy. No, I am strong. I'm healthy. I'm wealthy. I'm strong. I'm healthy. I'm wealthy. Sometimes I put some mention on it. I would start to see myself, being healthy. Or I would look at I try to internally see my organs. Just wait. But invariably, what that does, the brain doesn't do call rating. People think you can multitask. It's a direct line. So if you start saying something, a phrase that you can follow, you would turn your mind off.
Yeah.
If you turn your mind off, you get a good night's sleep. You get back out the next morning and you start telling yourself who you is. Do your meditation. You're ready for the next day.
So you have a morning and evening routine every single. That is.
Now the evening routine doesn't take very long. It's just a way to shut off and go sleep. You don't go and
It's
sleep
like a
and
switch.
tossing and turning and can't sleep and your mind wandering. You find something that you can. Mine is simply that, because I want to be strong. I want to be healthy. That's the biggest important thing. You want to be healthy. And want to be wealthy that I can give to others.
Has there ever been times in recent history, whether it be like the pandemic and there are a lot of things happening with Barbados and the roles that you would have played, such as like advising the government and that kind of thing, that you were worried at all where these things like were on your mind even when you were like about to go to bed? It's just hard for me to believe that you were just always...
My boss never let me get much sleep. My boss being prime minister at the time would call all the time. And we would have our conversations. So I was prepared for her day and night. But when I decide to sleep, that's what I'm telling you. If you have You can't wait till you having problems, girlfriend problems, money problem to start practicing that. You start now. So that when you have stresses, that is already part of your psyche and routine. It is normal. It's in the good times you build up a strong house. So then in bad time, when the storm hit, you're able to survive. Because it will hit. Stress, something will happen. Or stress, something in family, finances, lost a job, things will happen. That is why you have to, when in these times, reinforce your mind and strengthen it so that when the stresses come, you are prepared for it.
I have one or two questions to ask you. And this is now about, I guess, what you do on a daily basis, right? I'm going to preface this, and then I'm going to ask you a 2-part question, but it's going to be simple.
So
Right.
you're prepared for exam here.
Right. It's going to be prepared
You got
for
to put your
exam, right?
grades up when you want.
Yeah, exactly. So Jenny had 2 apples, right? I'm kidding. Right? It's a joke. Young people that are watching this, right, are very, very worried. And the reason is because if you're under the age of like 35, our formative years, like from like right after school, say you get your first job, you're looking to now like have money for yourself and you want to get a car, house, all the things that you wanted life to be. It coincided with the 2008 recession, the 2008 to 2018 decisions made by the government that we don't have to talk about, but we have to mention it because whatever.
Decade.
Yeah, that decade. The pandemic, along with inflation and a war, it is very difficult for any of us that are young to really establish ourselves knowing that there's such uncertainty in the market right now, right? And that's been happening for a while for us, right? My question for you is, do you understand why a lot of young people are worried? 1, and 2, do you share that same worry? Although I know the answer to that one already.
No, I understand why young people may be worried. This is a very trying environment. I mean, we've been having crises after crises and things are just happening in our lifetime. We've seen wars. We've seen a global pandemic happen every 100 years. We've seen hurricane. We've seen
Everything.
volcano. I mean,
I keep on forgetting that.
you don't even have to be young to worry about it. But in my view, there's also time for opportunity. They say every good crisis there's always some sort of opportunity. If I advise a young person, I have a 17-year-old, a 15-year-old, and a 5-year-old. So I have young people, and to me, I would say now is the time to start to invest in yourself. And now it's time to try something. Try your hand. Don't let anything you think about. There's no such thing as a bad idea. Just try something. Because, try in terms of trying an economic activity, huh? Yeah. Because you have the internet now, you have the digital platforms, you can stay in your home and the world is your market for anything you can think about producing.
At the tip of your fingers.
It's not Barbados, it's the globe. And if you believe that every one of us were born with a gift, a talent, say to yourself, think about what is that you're naturally good at. Whatever it is, if it is drawing, is it selling a product, is it something in studio, whatever it is, you're good at it. And just start, I would say, principally mastery, just start doing it a little bit. Don't wait till you get it. Some people with a plan, they get a big business plan, they want to just start. Start doing what it is you want to do. Like, what you say you're into again?
I work in media.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. I work in media.
Media.
It's a lot.
And but the point is, every young person, maybe you want to go back to school and there's a lot of training around. Maybe sometimes you just go to the knock. When I was wanting to go to Central Bank, I went and knock at the Central Bank door and that's what it takes to get here. Now, I would have known or even be motivated to try had I not had the idea, let me go and find out. Right? You want to work somewhere, just turn up. Right? There was this story, the guy who wanted to, country, somewhere in USA or some city, and he wanted to work in the Wardrobe Hotel back then. And he sent letters. Back in the day, when emails. We sent a letter down to New York to the office and had many branches. And eventually, we didn't hear anything, sending letter and letter. So then he served his money, decided to go and visit back to New York, went to the hotel, and then he pumped into the management company. He eventually went there, and when he reached the office, he gave his name. He looked at the guy, look, I said, I was expecting you. These are 300 and something letters you've sent. I knew you would come. When can you start? The point is, go get up and go. Try something. Whatever it is you think you want to do, invest in yourself. It could be reading, it's just be a skill, or you may want to sell a product, or you go online and start a media company, or you want to be a talk show. Just don't see it as, oh my God, this is just a terrible environment, nothing to do. See it as, I have something to offer. Let me see how you get out there.
Right.
You might go give it away for the first few times. You might go to a company and say, listen, I'm in media. I know right now things are rough, you can't pay it, but I can give you 2 months of my service. And if you like what you're doing, then you can pay me there.
Yeah,
All right, that kind of touches on like what I was about to ask. Because I feel like coming after all these things Marcus just brought up, like a lot of people truly live in life month to month. So like as much as people are willing to, not just the financial investment, but more importantly, the time investment, it's going to be difficult to get like that first step truly done. Because there's so much to do at the end of the day and only X amount of hours. So like, how does one get over the fear of that then? Like, past the manifestation though. Like, I know I want this thing, but how do I realistically achieve it?
The difference between me and you is that you have to believe in God, in some power beyond you. You want to be the best media person in specific area. You see it and you believe it. Then you get up and go there and find out who been doing something like that. Try to find somebody who have done it before. And go and ask him a question or her. You know, you may have to walk the tongue because you don't have bus fare. But you go and do it. My thing is that don't just sit back and say, oh, life is hard, what can I do? There are opportunities, but you won't know unless you ask.
Right.
Seek and you shall find. Not in the door shall be open.
I'm so glad that all the Bible statements and things are towards coffee, because coffee know the Bible.
But it's not about Bible. You gotta find these. I say Bible is like part of the whole teachings of personal information. You will find the same principle in
any religion,
and even what people telling us, our forestality
tradition.
Yeah, correct. That it tell you got to get out there. You got to ask.
Okay.
If you open up, who can give you? Right.
Yeah.
But my thing is, first,
closed mouths don't get fed. Right. I was trying to say, there's an old people analog. It wasn't coming to my closed mouths don't get fed. Right. Same thing.
These are all connected. You start to do a lot of rereads. They're all connected. In different books, Bible, they're all connected. Closed mouth don't get fed.
Correct.
Open your mouth. Go and knock on the door. Ask a question. You may have to start doing something you don't want to do till you can do what you really want to do.
As you said earlier, get yourself uncomfortable.
Yes. You may have to go and do some supermarket work or help volunteer here. I mean, there's lots of opportunity now coming in Barbados in the construction sector.
Right.
Because we're doing a lot of work on the roads and etc. You're not in the construction, but you got to turn some concrete for time being.
Right.
And while turning concrete, you're turning concrete with a goal.
Right.
Right? Because you're painting. And by the way, one of the fastest way to get what you want is to give what you don't have.
Expound on that.
So if you say you want to, again, be a media person or something, then go and give of your service to someone who needs help in that area. Give your time.
Right.
It's called plant and see. It will come back.
Okay.
Paying forward.
Yeah. Find someone who needs some help in the area. Maybe some person need what you call it, apprentice, or somebody that you just give your time to help them with their business,
right?
And get like mentorship.
Somebody did that.
Somebody else will help you. Not that somebody will help you.
Exactly. Yeah. You say what?
I think something that happened with me very recently.
Very recently, indeed. That
You
is
might
so.
be here too.
It's true.
But my point is there are opportunities. But from an economic perspective, because we're not here to talk economics, but the economy is definitely, we've rebound. We're now trying to grow and grow in a sustainable level that will bring everyone. So as a young person, now is the time. If you want to invest in business, I would say approach a bank, develop some microfinancing that you trust fund.
Yeah.
If there's this carrier plan, say, look, and don't take no for answer. When somebody says no, just try another bank.
So I got a big buck in my bag, right? And if anybody tell me no, I'm
Lick me across the head.
I said Dr. Greenidge.
This man told me don't take no.
I said, Marcus, who? Never heard of him.
But with the interest of time, I do want us to touch on just a few questions, economic questions.
Yeah, sure.
If you don't mind. Yeah. Mose, you have one or two, if you can remember.
Yeah, a couple of them. I have some written down here.
Gee, man, I come prepared, boy. If you be talking to somebody small in a small fish, you ain't got no peers, you know. So you got to look at you.
Mosey, you said them words before you went to sleep, right? The questions.
Over and over. When you get from the third one that is sleeping.
Try it tonight, you see.
All right. Okay, I can try it. But before that, this is a segue then. The theme, I would say so far, I've been saying, but I've been listening. The theme so far, things that you've been saying repeatedly, faith, believe in something. How do your morals, you consider yourself a moral person first?
Yes.
And also, how do your morals inform you in the job that you do today?
All right, so that's a good question.
Thank you.
Not that being other good questions also. To me,
I don't have any peers.
I think I try to always do good by people.
Right.
Do good on others as you have them do unto you. So
Golden rule.
I'm going to always make a decision in the good of you and the person. I always say, so here's the thing. I may pour a glass of this Campari.
Brought to you by Campari.
Respect the better.
Yes, respect the better.
And his name is
Marcus.
And Marcus would say, wow, that's a good pour. Thank you very much. But I would pour for my friend here, and he would curse me and call, hey, can't pour more on drink. In other words, the same action could elicit different response from people. So you can't focus so much on what people say. You just have to say, I'm going to do good. So if I have to make a decision, I'm going to make a proper decision. When I do that, even though I have a huge organization to run,
right?
Everybody's not going to agree with my action. Everybody's not going to like it. But they know I did the best what I can do. I did what I believe was good for them as they would have done unto myself.
Because there's this thought, especially as it relates to people in political spheres and economic spheres at your level. Because, the Central Bank and there's this disparity. A lot of people don't understand what you do. And so it's easy for people to feel like, oh, he's one of the bigger heads, or whatever, he got out with the prime minister, yada, 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 yada. What I found about you that's been different so far, and I mean, it's only been a short while, but we've been hearing of you for a while and hearing from you for a while. You're communicating large issues, difficult issues to decipher to people. So we've seen interviews, right? So clearly there's an emphasis that you put on communicating with the layman. Has that been important for you during your career, especially as you interact with Barbadian people? Because a lot of people don't really understand what is these big terms and whatnot. Do you purposely speak in a way for people to be able to consume what you're saying?
I do. I believe that if you're a master of your field, you should be able to. If I can't tell a 7-year-old what I do, and that 7-year-old go and tell another person, then I'll fail. So if you're a master of your field, you should be able to break it down in such a manner that a person who's not in that field can understand you. If you can't, then you're not really a master of your field. Because the idea, and then it's even more important in economics, because economics is about, part of economics is giving person information that they can make informed decisions. And you can't make an informed decision, you can't understand one thing I tell you to do. So if I can't communicate what's going on in the economy, I can't communicate the current situation or thing, then you are not going to want to invest and partake.
and make informed decision because you just don't understand.
Right.
And sometimes even persons that in economics field with me, talking to me, using all kind of big fancy terms. I want to, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because that's okay. But
Right.
any day, that's because you're talking to me. But
Right.
if you tell another person,
They
so
can't
Yeah,
decode it.
like we're talking about.
And there's a bit of a teacher in me too, you know. I spent some years teaching at Arizona School, 5 years, and I was at
Okay.
university teaching part-time, was at Central Bank.
Mm.
So I have a kind of a teacher in me.
Okay.
But
I can see that.
but beyond that, I think we should all strive that even in our most complex fields, to break down subject matters in the simplest form
Right.
and deliver it people can understand.
Okay.
It doesn't make you less intelligent, actually. It makes you're actually smarter because you have to
It's
understand it
emotional
Right.
intelligence.
and
then
understand the
condense it.
elements of it so much so that you can decompose it. So if I talking to, I don't know, a guy that wash cars,
Yeah.
not do anybody, and I want him to invest, I'm going to tell you about bonds and stocks and things.
You don't want to hear
Right.
that.
Yeah,
I can
well,
say,
yeah.
all right, let me tell you something. Watch it. Let me tell you something.
What's saying?
Watch it here, man. You see you watching in cars, if you go down in town, go to the bank, tell them you want the other one, $5,000. And you buy some good equipment, invest in yourself. That first time I should invest, you invest in some good equipment. And you come and stop at their shed.
Right.
You can wash 10 times the amount of cars you're washing because you got equipment now. And make enough money to pay back that $5,000 and make something for yourself every month and going forward.
Right.
No, he understand invest. All of a sudden that makes sense.
Right.
Because now instead of you getting bucket, you got a machine. You
Right,
wash
right,
your
right,
car.
right.
They said apparently you make much more tons of money and when it costs you 5,000. So now I just explained to him the concept of investing.
Right.
He got a loan,
Message
buy
received.
material,
Yeah, exactly.
you get some capital, and then
Message received.
and he gonna, well, that kind of makes sense, no?
Yeah.
I can talk to you
Yeah.
with stocks and bonds. I gotta connect where he at the level which he's at.
Right.
And we should all strive that whether it's economics, you try to connect the people at the level in which they're at without talking down to them.
Right.
If people started their points with big man,
Even-
totally different world.
Nah, you-
Totally different world.
Watch this here, look.
Watch this shit.
Y'all laughing, right? But that's so true.
Differently speaking, right?
Differently speaking is such a good intro for a sentence.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because I ain't there. I can't go, sir, your honor. I mean,
Right.
you know,
I ain't listening to you.
Right. Yeah.
I ain't talking down. You're just like, you're communicating.
And does the fact that you were economically deprived growing up influence your economic choices today in terms of policy or no?
No, it helps me to understand the impact that policy have on everybody.
Mhm.
The poor, rich, some people, sometimes, they may make economic decisions. I'm
Right.
talking about Germany, the world. At the IMF, I've been to many countries and many programs. And sometimes you would think they may not. They understand theoretically what the impact the poor, but they don't understand what it means not to have to wake up one morning, you still have $1,000 in your income, and then because of a change of tax policy, you got $800. But that $1,000, you still even got you just spend about $999 a day. So now that's real, right?
So
So
you're in
that's
debt.
money. So you know
Yeah.
what to think about what to cut out and
Right.
it helps me to be able to understand the effects and macro policies that we do
That's
on
good.
people.
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think we could do a few more questions and then we could wrap up. Yeah.
Okay, so this is the meat and potatoes here now.
We know getting serious.
Yeah.
Man,
Everything
listen,
was appetizing.
this is a joke.
Yeah.
Watch this.
Economic policy is a serious thing, you know.
Yeah,
Come
it's
on.
for everybody.
We can't let the other Greenidge know that.
Yeah, we got.
You need a phone.
45,
You see, you can't find
Invest in yourself more.
You need a tablet. You need a tablet, my brother.
First of all, yeah, me. I will have
There
some
you go.
respect in here.
You know who you are.
I know who I am.
Where you go? You are visiting you.
Oh, yes. Okay, how effective would you say the central bank is in controlling or managing inflation? Inflation is just word being used.
All right, so big man, let me tell you.
Yes.
Everything.
All right, so first let's understand what is inflation.
Mhm.
Inflation is the increases in prices, the general price level over time. So, maybe 10 years ago, $100 could buy you a bicycle. It's not even 10 years ago, a few years
Same.
ago.
Yeah, boy.
I go into my can't buy the same
That's inflation.
boy.
The meaning prices going up, right?
Right.
So changing prices. For Barbados, a small country,
How you import milk?
90% of what we consume roughly is imported.
Right.
Everything is from that, man.
Wait.
Dope.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So tastes great though.
I know.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's a wonderful product.
Campari. Respect the bitter.
I listen to that.
Right. So that's inflation. I'm recently being high because since we import everything, if the price go up, that's the price we're going to pay. And that's going to be affecting the basket, a lot of it. So you're going to find that 75% of the inflation is coming in from outside, right? For example, oil prices. When oil prices start to rocket, the amount of money we pay for each barrel of oil increase.
Right.
And so at the pump, the government put some measures to control how much. But January, you see the price will go up, right? Food prices will go up because of food, because when you had the global crisis, shipments come out of China and different places have this what's called constraint of supplies, prices go up. So when something is out of your control, it puts a lot of difficulty on how you could control it. Since 75% of the inflation is imported, we are very limited. We have to try our best, but it's limited what we can do. But there are some things.
Okay.
There's some things you can do. For example, so in terms of Central Bank being able to do that, what Central Bank would do, we ensure that we try to ease the conditions so the commercial banking system will be able to lend money at a lower rate so you can borrow less. So we reduce what we call the cost of doing business. And we try to do those sort of things. What Central Bank does. But generally, we advocate persons, yourself, to try to manage the effect of prices. So for example, one of the things driving prices nowadays is what? Fossil fuel. So we try to reduce your reliance on fossil fuel.
Okay.
Instead of buying big guzzlers and looking flashy in the Mercedes and things, why not invest in an electric vehicle?
Right.
I love flashing a Tesla.
If you can afford Tesla, fine. But the point is you reduce your reliance on fossil fuel. Put some panels on your roof. That reduces the bill. Different things like that. How about planting a little kitchen garden somewhere? Or buying in bulk. So me and my friends, for example, my buddies, we will go to a friend of mine who's a farmer. We buy a huge amount of vegetables and fruits and we share them up. Or we go down by BMC and buy a cracker chicken. And then you get a fraction in price because every point put together. Put in resources to buy food. Buying from the market in the morning. Things like that. Plan a little something near your house.
All right. I don't know if this is something the central bank even controls. We're just on the topic of inflation. So we agree that the cost of production has increased, so the cost of the item, the product itself got to increase, which makes sense. But in reality, and I know that this is a fact, a lot of people are just taking that as an excuse to increase the price of the product. Is there anything that I know it is up to the central bank to police that, but for example, when feed isn't going up, but I can see the price of eggs go up 4 times in a year, that something they're off.
So in my view, central bank doesn't control that. And my personal view that you have to shop around. So if there's a particular supermarket that's selling cheaper, go there. You vote with your feet. So if you know that one supermarket you realize the price is going up, no, one partner go somewhere else. And try to shop around. And then maybe if that can't work, go down St. Lucie and go to a chicken farm and buy direct.
Seriously.
But I'll go to some farm. You just go and you see people park their trucks and they buy a couple rows of potatoes and you dig them up. A little effort. You just want some month or so and it may cause a little effort. But my thing is, when the supermarket, a particular supermarket, see that you know what much people coming because people going somewhere else with prices for what are they going to do? They're going to reduce the prices.
I know, I know what you just said, makes perfect sense to me.
Pause there, that's nothing.
I want to agree 1,000%, but I base in this from, and I use the eggs as an example. I think I don't buy eggs by crate, but it's something that I see all the time. I always buy highway, I will see jumbo eggs, this price, and then somebody down the road, regular eggs for some reason, this price. Right. But then you could drive that same stretch, and within 3 months, everybody just up by $1. And I am alive. I can hear the news. The price of nothing has gone up. I don't
Then
know
you
what
take a
uploading.
straight drive down St. Lucie.
No.
To the chicken farmer and tell you want to buy 2 dozen crates.
But as a
Carry home
Christchurch
for them
man, that effort cost money.
But
So-
you know, cheaper eggs are what?
But wait, but if you
But cheaper eggs at the expense of more gas.
Right,
But-
so it's still the next.
So when not
But I
to
know, but I still
By the way,
understand.
if you pool resources with some family
Well,
members, all right then.
But I still understand the.
Oh, buy some chickens playing by ear.
but I still, I actually
Sorry.
Am I a permit?
But are you saying though that the power in pricing is more on the consumer overall? What is that what you're saying? That if we all decided to not fraternize this business, eventually they will have to reduce prices in order to get
I'm
our
saying
customers?
that if you shop around.
Right.
Shop around. I mean, I think we don't do enough of that. But
So,
also, it may be a little inconvenience, but sometimes go to the source.
Mm-hmm.
You go and run and get, I remember, I think, I'm sure if you go and get a farm somewhere where you see all these farmers, I used to tell you farmer, you want to buy 2 rows.
Mhm.
You got potatoes last for months, and you can give some friends and family and make it cheaper.
Right.
Sometimes it's just about a bit more energy. Hmm?
Right.
Oh, tall boy, you
Oh, bag yo.
Right.
I don't know if I have to plug the company, but
Sir.
I left out.
Are we here?
Nah, but I bought some garlic the other day, right?
Okay.
Cool, got it.
You know, like I had a cousin that used to market and buy one of the big things of garlic. I live by me, so like I don't need all of this, right?
Right.
So I'm ready to give away garlic. But I bought this from online from a company that does shipping for the same price. When I told you they give me 7 of those tall things full of garlic for the same price as buy one, and I just had garlic to give it.
And what was the difference? You shop around. You went to somewhere and found it.
I
You
am
said
just
it.
saying.
Exactly.
They came to me.
More consumer awareness. That's
Yeah.
I
there you go.
literally want.
Consumer
I could beg the
awareness,
company.
No, hey,
Sir.
I ain't care.
Make a Western be like, get one of the garlic from Western. I'm not joking. There's get enough garlic for about $7.
Yeah, now that you
Like
said that, I think you have to beat that. So yeah. Yeah, on second thought. Yeah, on second thought. Yeah, maybe I should beat that. Okay, but yeah, I guess we could make this. We can make this like last one. Yeah.
Okay. All right. How? Jeez, man. I had a good.
Come, come good, man. You got
Yeah, no,
a
come
good
on.
last
This
one.
one, yeah.
I don't like feeling this way at me.
Yeah.
Okay.
IMF?
IMF.
Okay.
Boy,
I thought so.
IMF.
Ooh.
IMF is the boogeyman. IMF is, the IMF is the
Wow.
boogeyman. The IMF in Barbados. Oh, Lord have his mercy. The IMF here.
Mm.
The IMF is here.
I like that. Yes.
I special.
Draw the mic, Mosey.
Yeah. We can actually edit out that. Yeah, that was nice.
I was listening to a call-in program. And there's a particular caller that calls in all the time. Well, Dr. Greenidge, I didn't like how, he come from the IMF and the Mekki, the governor, and tell me, the IMF, it got me onto this program and I want, okay, cool. So my question is this. Coming from the IMF background or whatnot, does that put you in a position to better inform decisions made by the government? Are you selling out?
First of all, I persons probably forget sometimes. I spent 17, 18 years at Central Bank before I went to IMF. So I'm well trained locally and regionally.
Right.
What the IMF has done, it gave me even a different perspective, another perspective, a national perspective.
Mhm.
And when you are dealing with international institutions, they speak the one language. It's almost like another way of speaking.
Right.
You have to understand and read between lines
Right.
and bring that. I think I've been able to bring that experience to help bear on our economic program, which then became a success. Was it? I think it was Suriname the other day. Not saying negative, but the IMF program in Suriname that was going on, resulting in rats and all kind of thing. It
Right.
didn't hear because first of all,
We don't write it.
not really
Not
rat,
for quite
but
something.
let's not give her our glory. We created our economic program. IMF came in and supported it. But it was created, I was on board when it was created.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, I know what they're looking for. I know what good for we. I know what part of the team. I know everything. I know in terms of what will work for us, what will work, what we can do, what we can do. It was the first time you have an IMF program and people got increasing in salaries during the MF program and buy buses and all kind of things. Because you had a man from the inside. I knew how the people think. I know what I know the pitch it. And I was able to bring that to contribute to our economic program. It was our economic program. But because I understood, like bring somebody that speak the language, huh? I was able to bring that to the program so that we can benefit from the cheap money, so to speak, from their endorsement of our program. And we have been very successful. Probably most successful programs in the world was at Barbados.
Really
Interesting.
Wow. But you just mentioned the increase in salaries. There was a point in time where you said that you don't necessarily agree with increasing salaries, just because if we increase salaries for government workers, then that money has to come from somewhere else. And you said that you were not advised that for the government, but that was very many months ago. Do you still share that view? Do you still?
But I never said I believe in increasing salaries, but it's how you do it, right? Increases in salaries should very much be in line with general economic growth, right? If you have a company and because people come in, you make more money, then you should share with your staff. And that should be the increase in salary.
Sure.
But if you don't make no money, and then I'm asking you to pay the salary, what are you going to do? You got to go somebody.
Yeah, people got to get that go.
Or you got to cut work.
Gotta get that go.
So it's how you do it.
Yeah.
And it got to be carefully done. So what I'm good for, so for example, if you look at the government last salary increases, the one just happened.
Right.
The first part was $1,500. Right?
Holla, got that.
Right.
It must be nice.
But when you look and see, the government, because of carefully managing the economic program in 2022, and the revenue started to pick up, the economy started to grow.
Right.
And they managed the expenditure, had a little more than the regular, what they were trying to target.
Right.
So that $1,500 is coming out of a surplus, so to speak. It's not going to put undue pressures going forward.
Right.
It's not reoccurring to, and then we are projecting economy to grow by the last governor of Central Bank, Kevin here, my predecessor, in his last press conference, at the end of the year, predict that this 2023 will grow at 5%. So a 3% increase. You see how, like,
Right.
You still got a little 2%.
I'm saying that is manageable. As the economy grow, you should participate. But if you are saying, give me a slight increase because the cost of goods are high, but without growth to support it, you're going to put undue pressures on the business community.
Right.
Undue pressures. If you was a barber and you got 3 men, you want barbers, you got 3 men working for you. And then, increasing and you sell a son, you got to pay the people, the barbers got to get paid more money.
It's true.
Right.
No, you either going to get more
money.
people come in and cut here,
Right.
or charge more money.
Right.
But that one barber, you got what type for whole strain for now.
Yeah.
So it's how you do it, right? And so I'm definitely to increase. And I believe personally, once the economy is growing, the bounty should be shared by all.
Okay.
Right? But do it in such a manner that drives it.
Gotta get the owners and proprietors to agree with you, though.
No, I think personally speaking, I don't see a situation, knowing our business community, where business people will quarrel about giving an increase if they're making money.
Right.
It's when they're under pressure because supply constraints and prices in the roof, and then they have to squeeze up. You understand?
Right.
But, so you may not get 10% want. It's like that, you know?
I have one last question, Dr. Greenidge. Will you come back on the show sometime?
Absolutely. I like talking to people of my age, you know?
Yeah, too, but
I like come and sit down and get some
Contemporaries.
Yeah, man.
And we're contemporaries.
Yeah, Dr. Greenidge, thank you for coming.
Yo,
I cannot thank you enough. I cannot thank the team enough. Thank you so much, Novaline, Joanna, everybody for making this possible. But thank you, Kurt Lee, for not bursting in here and arresting somebody for saying something.
Real man.
He is too man.
The car, I didn't frighten the whole
Yeah.
time.
He ate the last security guard that you had, and now he's just 2 men in one.
But it was fantastic, the whole team.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really hope you can come back, and thank you for sharing your story. That is a short story that will not be lost on anyone, and your mentality, your mindset is one that we're gonna carry with us.
For sure.
Right? Definitely. So, Dr. Greenidge?
I can recite a few things before I go sleep tonight.
Yeah.
It pledges
you
mine
hard, you
and
know.
Huh?
it pledges mine and you see if one person changed,
Mhm.
we made progress.
Right.
So you three guys, try some of the stuff I tell you and just reach out to me
Mhm.
and let me know.
Will
Say
do.
less.
Have
Will
it
do.
work. Try it.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much, Dr.
You're
Greenidge.
welcome. It's my
Um,
pleasure.
Yeah, and we'll be looking out for everything that you're doing, everything you're saying, all the interviews that are coming up. And with that being said, another great one, INO Podcast. We
We
out.
out.
Thanks for watching the INO podcast, Information, Knowledge, Observation. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. We'll see you soon.